We're back again at the 3D Print Show, and we're lucky to be with Matthew Plummer-Fernandez, who's an artist, but not only an artist, he's basically an explorer of 3D printing technology through his art. So exactly how did you came to go through this technology to explore your art?
Well, I come from engineering background, and then I moved into art, and for me this technology facilitated an approach where I can use my mathematical skills to generate form and color. So
can you maybe walk us through one of this installation and tell us what is the process behind them? For example, this very particular piece, do you have a name for it?
Well, I call the whole series Digital Natives, and they all have the same process, even though they look very different. I start by 3D scanning something. In this case, it was dolphin-shaped kids' lamp, actually. And then, using algorithms and software, I can start deforming that shape and abstracting it into something new and adding color information. And then it's 3D printed with a 3D printer that prints in color, and any colors can be achieved.
So, I also heard about your work with different industries, machines like MakerBot, etc. How does it fit into your work, working with industrials and what they can deliver?
Well, I'm interested in exploring technology, sort of pioneering what different technologies can do, also finding out what people aren't doing with them, pushing their limits. So for me it's very important to sort of jump from machine to machine and really explore their unique aesthetic value. I mean, the MakerBot has its own visual language, which is beautiful in itself, and then I find this machine that prints in color has its own visual language as well, which is very beautiful. It's got this very sandy texture, which really abstracts the form slightly so that it's quite uncanny when you look at it, especially like in photographs. It almost looks like a computer render.
Back to the process and democratization of the process. What's your thought on the future of the industry and DIY manufacturing? Do you think we're going to go even further into, maybe everybody's going to have at home a 3D printer to print whatever they have in the mind? Do you think we're going through that, or is it still going to be a geeks or enthusiasts niche?
Yeah, well, instead of calling it a geeks niche, I'd say it's more of a fringe culture and a fringe economy that's sort of growing, and more people joining it from all different backgrounds, not just geeks. I mean, I spoke to businessmen earlier, who's saying, I want to get involved with this now. Mainly, for very different reasons. Some people may be just bored with like traditional routes of manufacturing, and the thing about 3D printing and these technologies is they're a lot more participatory. You're invited to be part of it. You're not just a consumer of it. You can design your own shapes, your own forms, and explore your own visual preferences or your own cultural take on what can be done with this technology. I find that very interesting.
And what's next for you? What's the next project you're working on?
Well, I'm constantly working on the same ongoing project. For me, the overall theme of sampling real objects, distorting them and printing them is something that I can explore on many different scales with many different processes.
We're talking 3D scanners. What kind of scanning technology are you using?
I prefer a new scanning technology, which is to stitch together photographs. So it's something anyone can do. You take a digital camera, take enough pictures of an object from different angles, and then a software calculates the 3D form for you.
Okay, very interesting. So, last question. Always say that basically you can print anything with 3D printing. What is the one thing you think you haven't still tried and you wish would be available to print? We heard about chocolate, we heard about sugar, but we're also going to talk about bio cells and all these very interesting and formidable applications. Is there something you're working on now?
Well, in terms of material, I feel like I've discovered for me, the material that works best for me, which is something that has color data in it. And I'd want to continue working with color. I think there's a lot of information that can be delivered through color and not just through form. Other materials I'll get to when I have the time.
Fantastic. Can you maybe give us a website where people can find your art?
Yes, it's just Plummer-Fernandez.com. I also have a Tumblr where I post all my progress. Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to us. This was Mark for Vision on TV. Thank you for watching.